Nami is obviously staying fog of war. You see how, like, this is challenger 1.5 KLP. You guys see how smart Nami is in a super high elo. I don't think she actually knows that she was actually out of vision. It's probably a coincidence. Lucian is following the mid lane, is hovering the mid lane. I see a lot of low elo players. Oh, I'm gonna start the Drake. Drake is important. No, Drake is not important. Your priority as an AD carry is to be in team fight. Your priority as an AD carry is to farm. And if you can't do anything on the map and everything is dead, and you, of course, you could consider going Drake. But obviously Drake is not your priority as an AD carry. There are more important objectives than just a Drake. Of course, exception if it's like Soul or even the third Drake, sure. Hello again, here with the 1.5 KLP challenger. We're gonna analyze this guy. He is top 10 AD carry in Europe right now in SoloQ. His name is Unforgiven. He's extremely good. He's extremely insane in SoloQ. So let's see how he's gonna play. Specifically this game we're gonna focus on mid game macro, but we're also gonna go very fast on his laney phase. So we're gonna actually explore some of the concepts that you should apply in general in the game as an AD carry. So he starts W, of course. He just plays with Nami. He's trying to get prio. Now, since he doesn't really have range advantage, he can't just walk up and zone them. So what he's gonna do is that he's gonna try to get prio, and every time when he has W, he's gonna try to walk up and W in. Now he can always trade. He's like, this is what I don't like with Lucian. Nami, like if I play Tristana, theoretically if I put a bomb I want to trade on you and I always win, but guess what, if you're playing against Lucian and Nami has W, even this trade is good. Even if theoretically Lucian got out traded, they outsustain them so much that it's gonna be very difficult for Tristana to do anything. And I personally think that Tristana should go longsword 3 potions, or maybe even Doran's shield. I'm just not sure about the, like, how are you gonna really conquer against the Nami W and the Lucian W damage. It's gonna be very difficult for her. But then if she goes for shield, she might have problems to farm into the tower. So it's a very tough situation for Tristana to be in. I would not pick Tristana in this meta, especially against Lucian, Nami, maybe with the Thresh or Nautilus. So pretty good playing consequently, but still enjoy to watch your video. Sounds good, Vlad, it sounds good. Now the wave is slow pushing into them, so we're not really gonna talk too much about the laney phase. So I just want to actually see his decision making. We can see that he flashes in for kills. He tries to test his limits. He's diving a lot. He knows his Graves here, so even if Graves was behind, it will still come up on top. Obviously, there is a big confusion on, oh, you shouldn't flash in as an AD carry. If you get a kill, you should keep it defensively. That is true, but that is true for the later stages, and that is more true for the AD carries that are immobile. So if you play Kog'Maw, Jinx, Vayne, of course you have a high reliance on having a flash, but that doesn't mean at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until like 20 minutes literally you don't use flash in to actually go on the enemies and to actually kill them. So especially whether it's going to be a shutdown or not, well, first of all, to begin with, you want to get the lead. So flashing in aggressively in League of Legends is good as an AD carry. Of course, if you're in the late game, you have 10 kills, you have 4 items, 3 items, you want to carry, you're in a team fight, you want to flash defensively, because you know that if you higher your chances to win a team fight rather than flashing just for a kill, then it's much better to use flash defensively in the later stages, especially on immobile champions, when you play like super late game. Of course, when you play Ezreal, when you play Lucian, when you play this kind of champions, you will not have so much reliance on keeping the flash. But if you play an immobile champion, then obviously it will be very needed, right? Very needed to keep your flash. But in the early game, you can do it. Good. Step number 1, he got the tower on bot lane. He used it. He used his advantage a lot. He actually led the tower, killed the minions. He was actually invading here. Of course, don't do this at home if you're not sure that you can kill them. In this case, he can always do it because the enemy team has 0 CC, Teemo and Akali and Graves 0 CC, so he can literally face the jungle. What he should be doing right now, since he got the bot tower, he should be going towards mid lane, and now he should be going towards mid lane. They should play around the Drake, but since they're probably gonna try to take the tower top lane, I think he's gonna pat top, especially because Nocturne is gonna try to most likely ulti top lane very soon. So what they're doing is that he's actually hovering the play, but then when he's looking top lane, he sees that they're dead anyways, so he just goes back to mid. Remember that when he took the decision to go top, his wave was all the way here on this hand side. Of course, if the wave would be here in the middle and he sees Tristana pushing, he would not even consider to go to top lane because it's extremely important for him to get the wave bot, as he's extremely close, like 300 away, maybe like 900 away.
Are you an AD carry main struggling to make an impact in your games? Is your damage output disappointingly low, leaving you feeling frustrated and powerless in the role you love? Introducing our specialized coaching program designed to supercharge your AD carry performance. Imagine a world where your damage, decision making and farming skills are 10 times better and the outcome of your games is no longer left to chance. Meet Chase, just like you, he was once stuck in the same position, facing low damage and inconsistency in his games. Let's see what happened after his coaching experience, from Diamond 4 to Master Tier. Wow! And here is Jordan and Brett, both transformed into formidable AD carry after the coaching session. These success stories aren't just isolated cases, they are a part of a community of over 3,243 players who benefited from the coaching program. If it worked for them, why not for you? Picture yourself as an unstoppable AD carry. It's not a dream, it's your potential with the coaching session. Don't wait any longer, visit Visite.com, book your coaching and become the AD carry the enemy team hates to play against.
I think it's actually 1k gold away of his Essence River. But now, since he's extremely strong and his wave is really good on bot lane as well, he just tries to follow, doesn't really work out. And then now, as we can see, he went back to bot. He's gonna push this, push the next one, and most likely gonna group mid now. Exactly, he doesn't like no reason to push one more here. He could start Drake, but I think it's much better to just hover Zoe Nami in case she gets pranked from this angle, this angle, this angle, blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. You start hover a little bit, maybe you get a tower. If Akali ins here, you have Exhaust, you have Nami behind. Now Fog of War, you see how, like this is Challenger 1.5k LP. You guys see how smart Nami is in a super high elo. I don't think she actually knows that she was actually out of vision. It's probably a coincidence. Lucian is following the mid lane, is hovering the mid lane. I see a lot of low elo players. Oh, I'm gonna start the Drake. Drake is important. No, Drake is not important. Your priority as an AD carry is to be in team fight. Your priority as an AD carry is to farm. And if you can't do anything on the map and everything is dead, and you, of course, you could consider going Drake. But obviously, Drake is not your priority as an AD carry. There are more important objectives than just a Drake. Of course, exception if it's like Soul or even the third Drake, sure. Okay, now he just gets the mid tower, he transitions to bot lane, he's probably gonna stay a bit around his teammates, he's gonna get the blue buff and then he's gonna recall. He's recalling as the Drake is 2.9k gold, he sees Sunday stop, he sees Akali is there, Tristana is there, he sees that the enemy team can't contest Drake, so he recalls. Of course, if he wasn't sure where his Graves and Tristana was like patting like this or anything like this, he would probably stay to help a little bit with the Drake, but in this case he was very confident. He's going back to top lane. I think he will push one wave, he will push this wave, next one, and then he's probably gonna look to hover mid. I don't see why he would push one more. Okay, in this case there is no play mid because Zoe is recalling, so he can push one more wave. Nocturne is also in the base. Mundo is pushing bot lane, so he will push bot lane, she will recall, she will come mid, Nocturne will hover top lane, they will try to play around this tower, he will probably get this tower and reset and then play for mid lane tower. But I think right now really that there is no objective for 4 minutes, so top tower is the only objective. He's gonna take it. I don't think it's contestable. This guy with Cassante is gonna be super tanky, like super tanky. So I will see how the Lucian is gonna be able to do something. Okay, he actually flashed on the like in place. Wow, the Cassante was 0-5 and the Lucian was 5-0 and he just like one-shots him almost with Nami behind him. That is so insane. Now he recalls, he goes to mid lane. I like that Nami like literally just follows him. And what do you do with Lucian right now? Well, you literally play around objectives and around your jungle or around people that are super aggressive playing. Like right now he's fighting bot lane, that everyone is low. So he's just gonna try to follow. He's basically gonna go with the flow and just adapt it on the minimap. This is something that you do on an AD carry in later stages in mid game. Of course, you don't do that necessarily in the lane. In the lane, you're just more, you know, focus on farming, playing it slow. And of course, if there's a river fight that is really close to you, you can consider to move there. There's no problem with that. But in the later stages, especially if you play mobile champions like Lucian, Ezreal and stuff like that, you wanna look to get prio and be super active on the map. We're talking about the champion that needs to accelerate. We're talking about Lucian. We're talking about the champion that gets outscaled by like a lot by most of the champions. Yeah, some people will say no bro, but Lucian at 4 items he's gonna scale very good. True, he will scale okay, especially with Nami, but I do think that compared to other champions it's like not really the best compared to like a Jinx. He will reset with all of the teammates, and then now he's just gonna ping the Baron. He will play around objectives. He will not waste his time with kills. He will not gonna waste his time, oh let me go bot, let me go mid, let me in. No, he wants to accelerate the game. He wants to convert this win into the early game, into the win into the later stages. It is that simple. He doesn't take big risks. He plays with his teammates. He doesn't do stupid calls. He doesn't like walk in with his E. It's that simple. So you have to make sure you play slow. You have to make sure you play with your teammates. Of course, if your goal is to test limits and to learn the game, maybe testing limits, going in and doing crazy stuff can be helpful as well. I don't say it's not, but of course, if you want to climb consistently, then consistency is the play. Consistency is extremely important. And yeah, this is how we did it. Right here it might be a bit of a throw because he's gonna die most likely. He tried to kite. I'm just wondering because now he actually is gonna give shutdowns. What is he gonna do with this? And I don't know why he is actually getting Shilbao and not Lord Dominic's for the Xante, which is actually, it's very interesting. I guess he was actually really scared of the Akali. He was really scared of people. You could say that, yeah bro, but he needed damage for the Xante. True, but at the same time, if he dies, it's gonna be bad. And we're talking about Lucian Nami that has Imperial Mandate, so the amount of damage that he's gonna get will be pretty significant because of the Nami Imperial Mandate. So we're talking about a composition that has decent damage into tanks. Not a lot of damage, but decent damage. So we see that he's also taking lots of camps. He's very active on the map. Like here, for example, he could just go for Drake. It's 15 seconds Drake, wherever. But no, he went to mid lane. He is very active. His camera is very good. His camera control is most likely very good. I mean, we're talking about a challenger 1.5k LP player. So what I actually found out in the last couple of months is that if you increase your DPI, if you increase how fast you can actually move your camera, move your mouse, you can actually increase like how well you actually see the map. And when you like, you know, look at the map or like cover a play, you move it a lot faster, which can be very helpful because decision making and macro, it's all about moving your camera. If you don't move your camera, you don't see things, you don't see action, and if you don't see action, you can't adapt on action. You can't really make and take decisions. It is that simple, really. So what did we learn in this game is that in the mid game you want to group mid lane after you get the bot tower, if possible. You want to be as active as possible and play with your teammates, but at the same time, if you can take as much farm and take the enemy jungle camps, that is really good to do. You can take small risks, but really you have to try to synchronize with your jungle and with your support if possible. And obviously, depending on your champion, you have to either accelerate the game or play it slow. Super duper important. And of course, not the last one, that you need to prioritize surviving rather than doing more damage in situations where you know that by taking more damage you increase the chance of you dying in a team fight significantly. So this is basically what you should be doing in these situations. You also get Ignite here. I didn't really talk about that. Guys, let me know if this video was helpful. Let me know if you liked it in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.
$5. If you have problems improving and getting better in the game faster but cannot afford booking coaching, on my Patreon you can access more than 627 VOD reviews, premium videos about how to wave management, mid-game macro, and tier lists that will show you the best champions to climb and to improve for your elo. And these are not on YouTube, this is only on Patreon, they're exclusive. Moreover, you can participate in the free coaching waiting list to get a premium VOD review. I'm giving away 2 free VOD reviews every single week. All what you need to do is simple 2-step process. Subscribe to my Patreon and share your OPGG, and voila, you are on the waiting list. You're gonna get a personalized VOD review for any game in your match history. For just $5, you get not only the free VOD review, but a whole bunch of exclusive benefits that will supercharge your gaming experience. It's a small investment for a big return. And it's just $5, it's no brainer, right? But here is the deal, you've got to act quickly. The waiting list is already filling up fast. 55 people already subscribed to the Patreon, and there are 6 people that they already are on board, they are on the waiting list. And more are joining every moment. Now, do you want to secure your spot for a free VOD review? Go ahead on my Patreon and reserve it right now.